Hi everyone, it's me, Italian Gamer Joe, your favorite Italian streamer, and today I will be reviewing OrangeTheory Fitness. This is part 1, it's the introduction to the show. I want to start off by saying that when it comes to nutrition and fitness, I really don't know where to start. I've tried places like Export, I've tried Planet Fitness, I've tried Lifetime Fitness, I've tried Supernatural, Virtual Reality, and while they are really cool experiences that may work for you, it didn't necessarily work for me. And one of the struggles that I always had with these places is motivation, community, and trying to just figure out a good consistency. That's been my largest problem when it comes to finding a good experience for nutrition and wellness. And over the years, I feel like my body has kind of taken a turn for that situation. And one of the struggles that I've had is higher body weight. I am considered obese by the BMI standards. I have lower energy. I just seem very down all the time, more depressed, and it's disappointing to feel these changes in my body, especially because I'm a 29-year-old adult. So getting the opportunity to try to find a better fitness solution has been a priority for me, especially because I work a sedentary desk job and all these other things. So after trying all these different experiences, I knew that there was something I needed to do differently. But the question is, what can I do differently? So my initial exposure with OrangeTheory Fitness was when a close friend of mine celebrated 300 classes on Instagram through something called a brag board. And it's just a picture of him holding up a sign that says that he took 300 OrangeTheory classes. Prior to that post, I had an idea of what OrangeTheory was, kind of seen like through social media, and sometimes I'll see it advertised, but I never really looked into it. I decided to reach out to my friend and congratulated him for his classes, but I also decided to ask him about it. And he told me that the class is a really cool experience. It's very different from other gyms that he's signed up for, and it's addicting. And being that he and I are both gamers, one of the things that he told me was that they've figured out a way to gamify fitness. And I'll explain more on that later. So after I talked to him about it, I decided to try looking up the OrangeTheory classes near me. And I will say that the website was a little daunting at first. When you scroll through the website, the first thing you're hit with is large groups of people working out together. You're hit with like a bunch of information all at once, and it was kind of scary. I'm flashing back to images of high school gym class and like walking around and not knowing what to do in weight training, and seeing all of the other students just knowing what they're doing or just goofing off, and I'm like, okay, well, is this going to be the same experience? So I'm scrolling through the website and I'm reading into what OrangeTheory is all about, and it sounds promising. It's a cardio and resistance training course that you take. It's a facility that you take, and you just according to what the website says, there's membership tiers and there's class packs, and there's just a lot of information. But one of the things that they were offering at the time is a free course. So I went to the website form, I put in my information, I clicked the sign up button, and the first thing I got was a phone call from my home studio. And they were like, "Hi Joe, we'd like for you to come in. What's a good time for you to come in? Or maybe you can go on the app and you can scroll through some of the classes and figure out which class works for you." So that's exactly what I did. I went to the app, I scheduled a class through the app, and I decided to give it a shot. And boy, was I nervous. I think one of the biggest struggles with going from signing up on the website to getting that phone call to making that actual appointment, that was probably the scariest thing, the anxiety. I had deep anxiety prior to coming to the class. I'm like, am I right for this? I'm not an athlete. Like, I'm a big person. Like, I don't know if I could do this. Like, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Is it worth it? Like, everything else has failed. Like, what am I doing? And I remember questioning myself, like, on the days leading up to the course, and even on the day of. I thought about calling and being like, hi, I'm not feeling good. Can we reschedule? Or I thought about just canceling altogether because I was so scared of how the class was going to go. I really got into my head a lot, to the point that I almost convinced myself not to go. So that was my experience and my exposure initially with OrangeTheory. And in the next part, I will talk about what actually happened. So when I got into my OrangeTheory class, the first place you start off is in the lobby. And if it's your first time there, the lobby staff are extremely friendly. They will greet you, they will, ask your name, they will talk to you and just kind of give you like an intake of like how the studio works. They will also make you sign like some information, like just getting your personal information, like your name, address, billing information, your body weight and height, just to get idea of like where you're starting at. They also get liability information as well as emergency contact. So they really give you everything you need right at the front when you start, before you start a class. The next thing they do after they give you all that information and make you sign some stuff is they kind of give you like this orientation where they give you a tour of the studio, which includes the lobby, the locker rooms, the shower and bathroom areas, the studio itself. They will hand you over to a coach who will take you into the fitness area and kind of just explain where everything is. They'll explain like where the TVs are, where the rowing machines are, the floor area with the weights, the treadmills, where the water fountains are, just kind of like all that stuff. They really try to hammer everything down for you and make it really easy and simple for you. And they give you this huge tour. And once that's all done, they set you up. They loan you a OTF wristband. And the wristbands are these Bluetooth devices that are either on your wrist or they can be on your shoulder or your arm as well. And they're basically just heart rate monitors. And once you're set up with the heart rate monitor, your name appears on a big scoreboard. And it shows your name followed by how many splat points you have, your heart rate, I think how many calories, and then I think a percentage of, I think it's like a progression percentage, and it kind of just tells you like where you're at compared to everyone else. And once they get that all set up for you and they explain how all that works, then you're off to start the workout. And depending on what you choose or what kind of workout it is, because there are different types of workouts. There's 2G, 3G, there's these resistance training workouts that they just added recently. But depending on what type of workout you're doing, which I've done only 2G and 3G, they may give you a choice between the floor, which includes rowing and resistance training, or they give you the choice of treadmill, which is the cardio portion, which is in a lot of intense cardio. And let's say, for example, you're doing 2G, you'll be doing 30 minutes of full-blown treadmill cardio, and then 30 minutes of floor and resistance. And on my first class, I started off with what did I start off with? I started off with the treadmills. Or no, sorry. I started off with resistance. And they had me on the rowing machine. And what they would do is they put you out on the floor first. And the coach, she explained from the TVs, like what you're supposed to be doing. And the TVs have these GIF videos of each exercise performing at different angles, and they tell you instructions. So do this 4 times on both hands or both legs, and then you move to the next one, and it's kind of like a little obstacle course of things you're supposed to do that you look at from the TV, and it'll say, do these weight exercises, and then do this, and then do this on the rower, and then do this. And once you do all of them, it'll tell you like repeat until time is called, or repeat until the next block, and you continue doing those exercises until the block is over. And all the while this is happening, the coach is talking to you. She's making sure that everyone's on track. She's just really being helpful and making sure that everyone is doing what they're supposed to be doing. And then once the 30 minutes are up, the coach gives everyone like wet wipes to just make sure that the machines are all nice and sanitized. And then you do a switcheroo where if you were on the floor, you now are on the treadmill, and if you're on the treadmill, you're on the floor. On the treadmills, things get really interesting. They have this parameter card, and the parameter card basically explains like where you should be when you're at base, which a lot of jargon gets explained to you at the class, but you have a base scenario, which is like where you should be, like it's where your heart is, it's operating at good efficiency. You're not at rest, but you're somewhere in between like a rest and extremely intense situations. And then you have push, where you need to increase that intensity, and then you have all out, which is a situation where your heart is operating at the max efficiency. And all the while you're on the treadmill, your coach is talking to you, and they're rallying you up, and they'll say something like, all right, we're gonna do a push, and you're gonna increase that incline to 4% or higher in 3, 2, 1, go. And then they'll be like, and then after a couple minutes they'll be like, all right, are you feeling uncomfortable? Now we're gonna do all out in 3, 2, 1, go, 10% or higher. And then it's really crazy, because you're like, when I go to the gym, prior to this event, prior to OrangeTheory, I never realized that when it comes to fitness and working out, you really have to challenge yourself by increasing that intensity. Otherwise, you're just going to stay the same pace, and then you might burn less calories, or you might be doing less. But when I'm here at OrangeTheory, they challenge you and they increase that intensity, because according to the science they have, when your heart is at the base and then slowly climbs up into the orange zone where your heart is operating at a higher intensity, that's when you burn more calories. That's when you have a higher performance. So what makes it addicting and gamified is that you're looking at the screen, or looking at your screen on the treadmill, and you're seeing what color group you're in, and seeing myself go from gray to blue to green to orange, and staying in the orange, or even red, it makes me so excited and happy, and I push myself to stay in orange as much as I can, and it's a blast. It's a really cool feeling, and I'm drenched. I am drenched by the time that by the time I'm done with the workout. I mean, 30 minutes in, I'm drenched, and I'm dripping, and I'm sweaty, and everyone is dripping and sweaty, and it's such a good feeling to have when you're going through these experiences. And by the end of the class, it's a really cool experience, and the finisher is usually a stretch. So the coach will make everyone do some stretches, and then they will talk about community events that are going on. So OrangeTheory has various events that are going on, and like they have bingo, they have these other events like capture the flag, and like obstacle courses, and all these things. So they really have these really cool like community style stuff going on, where they want you to come back and participate in the community challenges and all that stuff. And what's really cool is that all these stats from your workout are saved on your app. So you can see your workout for the day, you can see your highs and lows, you can see if you completed any challenges, you can see all of it on the app. The app even has a brag board feature where you can track how many classes you've done, and maybe you can even get 300 classes like my friend. So it's a really cool experience, and the class was a lot of fun. I left that class feeling so addicted and so happy, and I wanted more. It felt good, and that's a feeling that I've never felt in any of my fitness adventures. Nowhere else have I ever felt that good before, and I wanted to chase it. I wanted to chase those feelings. So the next thing I want to talk about is the OrangeTheory membership and pricing. Depending on what events are going on currently at the studio, there might be a free class you can take prior to signing up. There might be 2 free classes. There might be a bring a friend situation. So prior to signing up, definitely look at the events that are going on at your local OTF studio just to make sure that you can maybe try saving some money with an event that might be happening or some free classes. So always check that first. As far as the membership goes, they also differ by studio location as well. I did try asking about that online, and I guess that OTF locations are each like individually owned, I guess, and because of like the rent and the operations and all that stuff in different areas, then the membership tiers do change between locations. For example, at my personal location, the basic is $89 a month for 1 time a week, $129 a month for 2 times a week, and then $189 for 3 times a week or more. And then for the class packs, it's 10 classes for $245, 20 classes for $380, and then 30 classes for $510. As far as the membership benefits for the memberships, you get access to not just your home studio, but all the studios in your area. You have a month-to-month contract, so you're able to cancel whenever you want. There is they're open 7 days a week. You always have the mobile app to book your classes. According to the website, if you need to freeze your membership at any point, they will allow you to freeze your membership payments for 60 days, twice a year. And again, just no long-term contracts with the studio. So they give you a lot of decent membership benefits for participating in their locations and studios, and it definitely seems pretty doable. As far as which membership to choose if you're a beginner, I think that just revolves around your schedule. If you think you can only make it 1 time a week, then the basic is probably better for you. If you think you can make it twice a week, then go for the elite. And if you think you can do 3 times or more, then maybe try the premier. One other thing to consider as well, if you do whichever membership you choose, if you decide to try a different studio, because any membership allows you to travel to different studios, you will be charged a surcharge. I guess it might be, I think it's like the difference or something between the studio that is not your home studio and the alternate studio you go to, but only if they aren't the same price. So if the studio you go to is more money than your home studio, then you will have to get charged for it. Another thing to think about as well is when you go to the class, I think they lend you wristbands, but you can also purchase a wristband straight up. And according to the OTF shopping website, the OTF Beat Burn is currently $119. And depending on which membership you get, they might have deals going on where that Beat Burn heart rate monitor will be on sale or a discount depending on which you might choose. The OTF Beat Burn is an interesting device. I think my only critique with it is that it's micro USB, and in a world where we are all using USB-C, I kind of wish it was USB-C. They do have a charger for $13 on the website that lets you just throw it on the charger without plugging it into a micro USB port, but I do kind of wish that they would give us a USB-C version of the wristband instead. It's a very basic wristband as well. I mean, you just push it to turn it on, you push and hold to turn it off. It's Bluetooth. If you connect with the OrangeTheory app, you can see the battery percentage, and you can kind of get an idea like where it's at. The battery life is actually pretty solid. I've gone 4 or 5 days on a single charge, and I have seen some posts on the community saying to don't charge it every day or don't charge it overnight because that could wear out the battery or that can mess up the battery. So definitely let it get down on its battery before you charge it. That seems to be the general consensus with the wristbands. But nothing too crazy in terms of the technology inside. But as far as the membership goes, I will say it is a little bit pricey. I think that for what you're getting, it's definitely a really cool experience. Class sizes are pretty small. I think the max I've ever been in a class is 12 people. You're also getting a one-to-one experience. Well, not really one-to-one, but you're getting a really cool community experience. Everyone around you is very positive. The coaches are extremely nice, and they will take the effort to go and talk to you or show you how to do something better. So for what you're paying, you are really getting a streamlined workout experience. And for someone that, like me, that is looking for motivation, I think that the way they gamify workouts with your heart rate and attributing it to a color, I think it's very effective and very fun. So if you are interested in trying this, just know what you're getting yourself into in terms of the pricing and the tiers and the membership options. And if you have to cancel subscriptions, or if you have to figure it out, then I definitely think it's worth the investment. I think that you just have to remember that by choosing OrangeTheory, you're definitely choosing a private experience that is definitely unlike anything you'll ever do. It's very, like I said, it's very streamlined. It's definitely one of the coolest workout experiences I've ever tried. So is OrangeTheory worth it? Is it worth the budget and the experience and everything? Overall, I'm giving it a thumbs up. I think that it's a really cool experience. I think that if you are looking for a streamlined fitness solution that is also a humongous community and very streamlined, you go in there, you don't really have to think too much. The coaches kind of just take over and they tell you what to do, where to go, how to do it. I think this might be a very effective solution for you. If you prefer to have more independence at the gym and you just kind of want to have a gym open to you so you can throw on some headphones and listen to music and kind of just do your own thing at the gym, then this will not be an experience for you. I would definitely recommend doing alternate solutions like in-home or like Planet or Export or Lifetime. I definitely recommend OrangeTheory for people that want, though, a more catered, streamlined experience. Because if that is what you are looking for, then you will find it here. The group environment is very uplifting and very positive. The coaches are all really, really nice. There's a lot of accountability as well. By showing up and by speaking to the coaches and to the other community members, there's definitely this community sense you're getting, and I think that's where the accountability is coming from, because you start to become addicted not just to the workouts, but to seeing the coaches, seeing the staff, seeing the other community members, and perhaps even making friends. If that is something you want to do, you'll definitely start to make friends with the regulars. If you go to the same location at the same time, you'll slowly start to get the chance to build interpersonal relationships with others as well. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in doing, I definitely recommend OrangeTheory Fitness. It's definitely on the more social side of working out. So if you are struggling with being a more introverted person and social anxiety is a thing for you, then this may be a challenging experience. But I think what might make it more effective for introverts, especially because I'm more of like an ambivert, a lot of the social anxiety I had with visiting major gyms was the fear of being judged, or the fear of walking up to the weights and having to share weights with more fit people, or being judged by larger athletes that are just I don't know, this weird judgment in my head, where at OrangeTheory you don't really get that judgment. They give you exactly what you need to do. You know exactly what you have to be doing. It almost kind of feels like a fitness academy in some ways, where they kind of teach you how to be an athlete or how to feel like an athlete. And I think the best part of it all is that I'm never comparing myself to others. I'm in my own journey. I have my own stats. I have my own like picture on the leaderboard, or on the score on the TVs. So for me, it's all about just being there, enjoying the moment, not comparing myself to others, and getting those workouts in. And I will say, regular gym visits for me, I've only ever burned like 200-300 calories. When I get done with OrangeTheory workouts, I burn upwards of 900 calories and up. I've never burned 900 to 1,000 calories on my own before. And every time I leave an OrangeTheory workout, I'm burning almost 1,000 calories. It's insane to me that I'm reaching that high in calorie burning, but it's also a really cool experience. And overall, I definitely give it a thumbs up. I'm very excited to see how this fitness journey goes, and I'm hoping to give more updates as time goes on. So thank you for watching this video, and hope to get the opportunity to make more. Until next time.